Hi, I'm Ken Denison. I'd like to welcome you aboard Lady Sheridan. She was built in Germany by Abeking Rasmussen and is 58 meters, 190 feet. Abeking Rasmussen was selected for a number of reasons: the size of the yard, their productivity, and more importantly for this particular boat of this size, they had a series of yachts that they built over the period of about 5 years that were a proven and known hull design, which is important when you're building a boat.
The key thing is that you have to make the boat from one boat to the next always better. Otherwise it will become old-fashioned after a couple of boats. And that is not the case in Lady Sheridan, because from one boat to the next we improve the systems to make it up to date.
We had a really good team on board for everything in the beginning stages. Donald Starkey was a designer of the boat. He worked very well with the owners.
I try and give my designs, interior and exterior, a sort of personality for that particular owner.
The boat's got to match the owner's use. You can adapt the crew around that, but you really have to have the layout of the boat and the functionality of everything match how the owner uses the boat.
And we came up with a very unique and different yacht, very custom, but we also knew exactly how it was going to behave and run. That became very apparent to the owners. They'd chartered lots of yachts and they didn't want any surprises. What they did, however, want is something custom enough in the interior part of this boat, the layouts, the arrangements, not just designs and colors and fabrics, but a real layout that would also mirror their tastes and desires, because they did have plans in the future to charter the boat, and they wanted it basically a platform that a lot of people would enjoy, not just for themselves. And that's what we really did on this boat. Lady Sheridan is boarded any number of ways, but the most popular way while we were at anchor is the swim beach club. It's very easy to literally step without raising up or jumping down right off our tender right onto a very stable platform. You're going to also see a very unique and singular application for the owner's requirements to have 4 large jet skis. And we can take and launch all 4 of those, as well as the Nautica Tenor, in a matter of 20 minutes, which makes it particularly good when you're at charter and you are going from point to point and you want to get the toys in and out of the water as quickly as you can. As you come through the beach club, you go up a set of stairs to the Aftdeck area, where there's a comfortable, luxurious seating. You can also access the same area via the passerelle. From the Aftdeck, enter the main salon. It's really the primary place for what we would call in a home a living area, and when people can come and be greeted and sit down. The immediate reaction is this beautiful use of Mikasa dark wood and the contrasting Japanese ash. As we move forward in the main salon towards the dining room, you'll see the same Mikasa and ash woods. The owner wanted to have a separate dining area that could be pocketed off and not be part of an entire main salon grouping. The onyx bar has an inlay as well as the main dining room table. This area can serve up to 12 persons comfortably and have a very fine dining experience on board. As you move forward and into the foyer, we go into the owner's entrance, which has immediately to our right as you enter the suite a beautiful office. This entire area can be pocketed off by doors and separate from the main sleeping cabin. But immediately to our left, you'll see another door, and as you walk through it, you'll see the sleeping cabin. It has its own bath and head, and it also has a small bed for areas for taking afternoon naps, or a security room, or any other use that you would like for this 7th cabin. As you walk into the master suite, you're going to see more of this Japanese ash. All the carpets are hand woven, and the bed is king size, and the TV drops down from the ceiling rather than being placed in a wall unit. This is all done via a touchpad, which is also hooked up to an entire kaleidoscope system with over 500 movies, music, and videos. All the curtains, by the way, on the yacht are electronically modulated bedside, so you can go to total blackout mode with a push of a button. Moving forward in the master cabin, we enter the master bath, hers to port, his to starboard. This area has beautifully inlaid onyx as well as mother of pearl. Sardinelli fixtures are used throughout the vessel. As we go down the hallway, we enter the foyer again. We have 2 options to go either down into the lower suites or up to the sky lounge. As we go down the stairwell, there's 2 options. either going forward or aft. As we go aft, we'll see two suites adjacent to each other. This is a very interesting option because what you can do with these two suites, they can be closed off together. And this is quite often used for a couple with young kids that they can access and shut that entire two rooms off and use them as a giant VIP suite with one king size on one side and two twins on the others, each with magnificent heads. As you go forward of that in the foyer, you'll see two king-size suites again, and each of those ensuite baths, beautifully appointed. Each of these cabins are very large and spacious. Each of these cabins have the same kind of amenities as the master suites have. As we now proceed, if we come into the foyer again and we're back to the central part of the main deck, we go up through the same stairwell. You'll notice above beautiful skylight dropping 3 levels of light down into all the way down to the lower lobby. And when you go aft, you immediately come into a lobby, a very large lobby that's very unique on any of these boats. To the starboard is a beautiful guest suite, which is the VIP suite, which has a very large bath, which has also a king-size bed and beautiful open windows to the sea. While the owners on all these boats have their own offices, the guests on board the boat now have a place to go. As we enter and we go aft from this area, we enter the Sky Lounge, which is also used as a theater. The theater screen pops up from the bar area, which you can see. That will go up and down, and the space is so wide up there that it not only allows for the big, large central grouping, but it has enough on either side to utilize those spaces for very oversized club chairs. So when the boat is running, the owners can sit on these club chairs and with the deep windows can watch the sea go by. It's a beautiful place. As you go after this, the double doors open. Those doors can retract all the way 4 panels open, so you can really open up this deck. This is the part of the boat that is used the most for dining. As you can see this table, it'll seat again 12. You see that we have also outdoor air conditioning as well as heating, which is important. Again, at the end of the table, there's another pop-up television. Part of the other design of this boat was to incorporate sliding glass panels, that the breeze in the air, whatever is happening out there or weather, doesn't come inside the eating areas. The sunning deck is over 100 feet long. It has at one end very large jacuzzi, sunning pads, a bar with also a food lift, as well as seating. It also has in the center part of this deck all the exercise gear and so on, with TV that drops down again out of the ceiling. It also has in that area another half bath upstairs, a powder room with a head and sink. And as we go aft, we have another dining area for 12 persons. And you'll also see throughout the boat the utilization of these sails. Most owners will really enjoy the features of this so they don't get too much sun and run them off the deck. One of the aspects whenever you're looking to buy boats is a continuity program. And what I mean by that is quite often boats are sold, they're transferred, they're built at a yard, of course, as they all are. Then the boat is sold, new people come on, specifically new engineers, new captains. They all have a way of thinking, a way a boat should be. So 3 or 4 owners later, the boats, the systems have all been automated, or they've been augmented, more importantly. They've been changed. They've been changed to a position that maybe they shouldn't be. We've had the same captain, same chef, and both of the engineers on the boat, not only before the build and during the build, but they're currently on the boat right now. That makes for a big difference in terms of how the boat is maintained and kept. Everything is kept by factory standards. Nothing has been changed in terms of systems. And so when someone gets the boat like this, it's nice to know that no one's had their fingers in the pie, so to speak, in terms of how this boat runs.
Having the 2 engineers that built the boat on here still with us has been a valuable, valuable asset. They know every nut and bolt in the boat. They've got a very good rapport with the shipyard, with all of the vendors that worked with the shipyard, so we're able to obtain everything that we need and keep this boat maintained to the original standards and do so very efficiently and effectively. And at the end of the day, it reduces the headaches. For instance, the navigational equipment you see up here on the dash, I went with commercial grade quality stuff. My navigational electronics guy that we use, Bardwell Marine Electronics, extremely knowledgeable. very well known. Everything's independently operated. If I lose a radar, if I lose a gyro, we have backups, GPSs, everything's redundant. And we're also not spending a lot of money on having a technician come in. We keep that to a minimum and cut the service costs down, which is what you want to really be doing. Main engines and generators are all Caterpillar. The main engines are commercial grade engines. They top out at 1600 RPMs. We've got 240 kW Caterpillar generators. We have a planned maintenance system on this boat that has allowed us to knock off a lot of the items that come up for your yearly surveys, and also coming up on a 10-year survey where a lot of boats go through a 10-year survey and there's a substantial cost to doing those. We've taken credit for all of those items as we do repair and maintenance on the vessel, which will reduce our 10-year survey and also reduce the cost significantly, where we've already taken credit for everything. And that allows us to stay on top of things and keep records of everything, and we know exactly where we stand at all given times.
So thank you for coming on board and seeing Lady Sheridan. We'd love for you to see it in person when you can really see the details and specifications more closely. If you have any questions or you'd like to schedule your own personal viewing, please contact us.